Hello students, your instructor here again, John Mendiola with another screencast. This one, part 2 of the web fonts video series. So, I've copied and pasted this in from my web fonts kit, which I already downloaded from fontscroll.com. It's in my webfonts.css document, which is great because, again, that's linked to the web page that's using it. And what I need to do is just do a little bit of work because this is very generic. So anybody can use it. We need to do a little bit of work so it's more specific to our needs. So since I have Finder, since I have it, this is my root folder. Then it's in the web fonts folder. I'm sorry. Yes, then it's in the web fonts folder. Then it's in Furor. And then there the files are. I have to replicate that with markup. So I go to source URL. Then after the tick marker, the single quote, I'm going to do / web fonts / Furor. Notice how it's all lowercase, and then that. And that's what's going to allow me to make it work. So once I've got that, I'm just going to copy this from the dot to the slash here, copy it and paste it in all these. Again, making sure I'm inside that tick mark. Let me go to code view so you can see it's not so wonky looking. So again, what this is saying is at font face, here's the font family named Furor regular. What's the source? The source is the URL, and it's gonna, these dots kind of mean like keep looking for, go deeper. Then it's web fonts folder, then Furor, and then the actual font files themselves. So we're going to make sure that when we upload everything to the our FTP space, that it replicates our local root folder. So that's great. So now what I want to do is I want to copy the name, with the quote, Furor regular. Copy that. So now our web fonts file is done, so we can just save that. Go over to our main styles.css. This is where I have all my styles. Now instead of font family starting with Arial, what I want to do is I want to right click and paste it right here. The name Furor regular, keeping the single quotes with it. And then I'm going to put the comma. So these have commas. I'm going to put it after that quote. So that's not like, good English for writing a paper, but when it comes to the syntax and the markup for how to do this, you're going to want to put the comma after the quote because that helps identify it as the right name. You also notice that it's green, just like it was over here. It's green, and that's good. If it's not green, you want to make sure that it becomes green. You might have forgotten single quotes, or you might have the comma in the wrong spot, or you might have a space here which would drop you right. So you want to make sure that it is exactly this way. So then I'll save this, and I'm done with that. So now what happens, what this means is because this is linked here, right? That's our main styles.css. Because it's linked, anything that has an H1 tag applied to it is going to take on the Furor regular font. Not, then if for some reason that doesn't work, then it would go to Arial, Helvetica, or generic sans serif. But right now we want it to stay on the Furor regular font. So we're going to go back here, and we can go to our split view, and we can see that, hey, I don't see anything like that. What's up with this? We can try live view to see if that will help. And there it goes. So I can see that the font has been applied to the H1 tag, because if I look for making taxes less taxing, see that line of text is right here. It has the H1 tag. So because this is H1 tag, this is kind of how it works. It's HTML. Oh, H1 tag. Go to the style sheet. Here's an H1 tag. What font is it? Oh, it has Furor regular. Furor regular. That's not a web-safe font. How is it defined? Oh, it's over here in this CSS document. I can see it's defined in this way, Furor regular. And the reason why there's all these different web font files is because different browsers will require different ones to display correctly. So one might require the EOT, one might require the WFF, one might require the TTF, which is the true type file, which one you're probably most familiar. One might require the SVG file. So with all that, and we go here, we can see that's the font that we want, and we can work with it then. And we can apply that once we have it identified here in our web fonts.css file. We can access that font as many times as we want in here. So if I have an H2 that wants to use that same font, just maybe a slightly smaller, different color, I can do that too. The exact same markup that this has. So stay tuned for the next steps.